Hello, hello. It's Erica here from Me2 Paper Crafts. I apologize for being late. Yeah, I just wasn't, well, I have no excuses. I just wasn't quite ready. I had a lot of persnickety things to do, including putting the stickers on this new stamp set, which I haven't opened yet. So I got that done. It's a red rubber set, so I like to put my labels on. So I've done that. And then, oh my gosh, the card we're making tonight has so many die cuts using so many different colors. So I had to gather up all of my scraps of colors. No excuses. I just wasn't ready, and I apologize for that. So tonight's card is, tonight is Case the Catty. And as you know, Case the Catty is when I take a project from one of our current catalogs and I make a project from it. So our spring catalog, our January to April catalog, of course, is still in full swing. However, you need to know that by the end of this month, celebration is over. So if you've been waiting to place an order and you need a minimum $75 order in order to earn something free from the celebration brochure, then you just have until February 28th. So in order to pick anything out of the free catalog. And there's lots of really, really good stuff in our celebration catalog. Every celebration catalog, which happens in January, starting in January of every year, there's always some great, great add-ons. And often they coordinate with products that are in the spring catalog or whatever the current catalog is. So it's really a worthwhile thing to look through, pick what you want from the main catalog, or go through celebration saying, yeah, I'm going to start off with getting something for free, and say you find some beautiful designer series paper. It just might coordinate with, say, a stamp bundle from the current catalog. So you kind of have to look through both to make sure that you get, you know, the best bang for your buck, as the expression goes. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll get started. We've got lots of die cutting to do together. And thank you for joining me. If you pop on live, leave me a comment. And if you watch the replay, you can also leave comments, which I will look at later. All right, so let's bring my desktop to the foreground. Here we go. And I kind of wish I could flip it so that it's the right way for me looking at it. Because I want to be able to flip it the other way. See, my hand is sitting here on the left, and yet you see it on the right. But I don't know if I can change a setting in here. Let's just see. Extra camera settings. What have we got here? No, I don't see anything here that I can do. Anyway, this is the way I've always run it in the past, so I'm not quite sure how to do it. I don't know if you do it with the camera or if you do it with actual StreamYard. So if you happen to be a StreamYard user and you know how to flip the camera back and forth, you're flipping it this way. So you're flipping it over. And then you could read this the right way. Anyway, I digress, as I sometimes can do. All right, so we're using Storybook Garden Patch, okay? And that is here on pages, it's quite a large spread. It actually starts on page 23 of the catalog. So it's one of those suites that has 2 stamp sets in it, okay? So the 2 stamp sets are Storybook Garden Patch, which is basically gardening stuff. And this is the one that I decided to purchase. I didn't get the Storybook Friends, which have all the little creatures. Now, if my daughter was still a young little child, this would be excellent because we were lovers of Peter Rabbit. So this very much reminds me of the story of Peter Rabbit. And it coordinates beautifully with this paper over here, which is called Storybook Moments. It's beautiful paper. It's got some great back reverse images as well. But I think you can die cut some of the rabbits out of the paper. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. But I chose to go with a Storybook Garden Patch because I thought it would coordinate with another set that is in our annual catalog. It's a kind of a gardening set. I thought it would work really well with that. And I also thought it would work well with some free paper that you can get from Celebration. I'll just show you. It's a 6x6 paper pack, and it has fruit. I think just fruits. No, fruits and vegetable here. See, it's got fruits and vegetables here. So you've got some strawberries in here, and you've got some strawberries in here. And yeah, so you could kind of coordinate the papers together by, using the pots and the watering can and this basket. Anyway, I just thought they kind of went together. But in the annual catalog, there's another great set with, let me see if I can pull out the paper just to show you. I think I've got the paper here. It's called To Market. Yeah, this would coordinate beautifully. So here you can see some of the paper in here. I'll just pull out a sheet to show you. So see, the Storybook Garden Patch has got radishes. Okay, so this paper has radishes in it. Radishes, where are the radishes? I thought, yeah, little radishes, purple ones and red ones. And then, of course, it's got carrots in here. It's got lettuce, but you've got some cabbage in here. And so I think the two sets, coordinate really well. And there's a great stamp set that goes with this as well. So you might want to look at that. It's called Market to Market. Market Goodness is the bundle that it comes with. Okay. So that would be a good thing for you to take a look at too. It's nice to have a full suite of products so you get the most out of, and you don't get bored making the cards. If you've got two different stamp sets, different kinds of paper. So speaking of paper, I decided I love plaids. And so I decided to go with this plaid. It's called Timeless Plaid 6x6 paper. So I've got that here to use. Okay. So let me just move that piece of paper out of the way. So I'm going to start with a card base of white. I don't think that was my best choice of card base, but the whole front of the card is going to get covered. And look at all the colors we're going to be using. You won't believe it, all the different colors. Now, if you don't have all the different colors of cardstock, you don't have to worry, because you can simply, change the colors up. So I've got Wild Wheat. I've got Boho Blue. I've got Pebble Path. I've got Calypso Coral. I've got Old Olive, Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, Misty Moonlight, and Pecan Pie. Honest to goodness, I think this card is using the most colors of cardstock of any card I've ever made. I think that. I really do. All right. So now I want to show you get that out of the way too. So now I want to show you the dies that coordinate with the stamp set. And here is the paper. Okay. So I'm going to pull the papers out. I've already started to use some of this paper. And I'm going to locate the paper that we want to use on this card. So the card is here on the next page. So they give you lots of samples. Yeah, and here they're showing you that you can die cut the bunny out of the other paper. So if you want to get the whole suite, this is a very cute card right here, where it's got the ducks that you can cut out. Very cute. Now I think there's a Memories and More pack that goes with this set as well. And these little pouches, they're often called sour cream pouches. Those would be adorable for Easter. You could fill it with Easter eggs. And then you've got, this is the card we're making tonight. So this is the paper that I want to look for in here. I think that's Wild Wheat color, if I know my colors well. I hope it's in this paper. I hope it's not the other paper. Oh yeah, it's going to be this paper because there's the check right there. I want the wild wheat. It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to use this. Okay, and that's all we're doing for those papers there. All right. So we're going to cut this. Actually, I'm going to change my card base because I can see the inside of the card here, and it happens to be wild wheat. So I'm going to grab a card base for wild wheat because I think white's a bit too stark. And we are making a landscape card tonight. So here's our wild wheat, and luckily I had half a sheet ready to go. So let me just, using my wax paper, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. Okay. So we're ready with our wild wheat. And I always like to burnish my card base just to get a really nice crease and to help it lie flat. It's really hard to work on a card when it keeps kind of flipping open on you. Okay. All right, so this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cut this paper. Now we're building up a dirt bank. So this is where the dies come in. Let's show these to you. And I think you can pretty well die cut everything. So you can die cut the shovel, what is that? This is a spade. This is a pitchfork. Okay, pitchfork. Looks like you can die cut the carrots, the radish, and the strawberries. The watering can, that's interesting. It looks like it's got 2 pieces to it. We'll have to, oh, it's quite a bit of building in here. And you've got this pot. Interesting. Oh, and you can also do the peas too. And you can do, yeah, everything cuts out. What about the basket? There's the basket. Okay, everything cuts out on here. So how fun is that going to be? Okay, now, interestingly, not very often do we get dies where you build up the die. So here's an example. We're going to do this pot. So it looks like, I thought there was stamping involved, but there's no stamping. I'm going to do the pot in 2 different colors. So for example, I'm going to do, let's see, I think it's Calypso Coral and Cajun Craze is how they've made the pots. So let's just see how that works. I don't think we're going to be doing any stamping tonight, maybe. All right, so one thing at a time. Let's flip this closed so it doesn't take up my whole desk space. Okay. And I think the first thing we'll do is we'll cut our cardstock. So I want this cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4. I'm first going to cut 5 1/2 inches off here first. I'm going to go to 5 1/2 here, just so I get a strip that I can use for the inside of the card if we need it. So that's 5 1/2, and now I'm going to go to 4 1/4. So when you cut your paper, you want to think about if you need an extra strip for the inside of your card, or maybe your envelope. Okay, so here we go. This is the front of our card. Okay, now when I'm doing this, when I'm covering the whole front, I really like to use our Tombow glue because you've got time to reposition it. So this is Tombow glue inside. So I'm just squeezing a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot of glue. I look at some people and I go, they must have to buy glue every month, a new bottle, because they seem to use a lot of glue. Okay, so now I will put it on. And then what I like to do is to lift it up, and I tap it on my desk and sort of make sure it's going all the way down to the bottom and all the way to all four sides. Now, don't worry if it doesn't all match up, like maybe you cut it a tad smaller, you can trim it. And to me, the best trimmer to use when you're trimming your card base is to use a guillotine trimmer. It's very hard to cut a tiny smidge of cardstock using a trimmer. The blade just gets caught on it because it's too fine a cut. But if you have a guillotine, you're just going straight down. Okay, so that's the card base ready to go. And let's start off by making our pot. So it looks like I'm going to take my Calypso Coral. Now, I've got lots of small scraps, so I should be able to die cut more than one piece at a time. So to build the pot, there is another die here. Here they are. See, I'm just starting and I'm already losing things. Here we've got this piece here, and these are kind of like the top bits of the pot. So let me run now. Is there any other? And when you're die cutting, look at what else you might have to cut. Now the carrots look like they've also been cut out of. These are the, I don't know what they're called. I know there's heirloom tomatoes, but what are these dark carrots made from? It looks like we need 2 carrots. So I guess you cut the whole carrot out and then you put the greenery on top. So there's only 1 carrot, so I'm going to cut, well, I can cut it here. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to pull over my machine so you can see me die cutting tonight. So we'll bring over the machine and then we'll do some, I'm going to zoom out so you can see. More or less what I'm doing here. Okay, so we'll put our pot on and we'll put Cajun Craze on here. And then I'll put my carrot. I don't have to cut out the whole carrot, but I guess I can put the greenery on top of it. Okay, let's cut these 2 pieces out first. So this is a fun set because you're building some of your die cuts together to make a full image. I think I'm going to need, okay, now I have to die cut another carrot. So here you see you get the full carrot, and then I'm going to do another carrot in green, and then we'll piece that together. So I guess this is called paper piecing. Okay, let's do another carrot. All right, so we have our 2 carrots. So I think I have to do the carrots again. I'm going to use looks like the carrots are using, oh, you know what? It looks like there's 3 carrots. I should have cut another carrot. There's 3 carrots. I didn't notice that. Okay, so let's do, actually, I'm not doing this right. Hang on. I'm trying to figure this out. The carrot toss, I guess you cut the bottoms of the carrots off. And you use a different die. Yeah, there's a die. Oh, here we go. So let me grab another page and I'm trying to do more cutting. Okay, let's do my 3rd carrot. And we'll have to cut that greenery 3 times. Whoa, that's very, look, that's really fine. Can you see that? It's really a fine piece. You'll need your pokey tool. And here's my last carrot. Okay. So I need 2 more of these little bits here. And you want to poke out, after you've used the die, you want to look and make sure you poke out any little bits that are stuck in it before you die cut the second one, because that's when you'll have trouble with it not die cutting properly. So let's poke this one out. Okay, and then let's do a 3rd one. So I've said this in my other videos too, is some people find this a little bit too fiddly, but I really like it. It reminds me of doing a puzzle. So if you die cut and stamp everything ahead of time, and then you piece together your project, it's like doing a puzzle. It's putting it all together, and it's fun having all of the elements ready before you start building your card. I mean, that's just the way I like to do it. May not be your cup of tea, but okay, so that's that done. So there's little bits in here you're going to want to poke out. Okay, let's do some more. So I've got 3 of those, 3 carrots. I've got my pot. What else do we need? Let's look at our photo again. So I've got the 3 carrots with the 3 pieces of greenery. Oh, now that I'm looking, there's actually 4 carrots, but there's one that overlaps the side of the card. Can you see that right there? But that's going to interfere with putting it in an envelope, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, we need the spade. So I think the spade is done in Pebble Path, which is this beautiful kind of like brownie gray color. So let's grab a piece of that and grab the spade. There it is. I'm really looking forward to doing the watering can too. So why don't we pull out a piece of the, okay, so it's using the 2 blues. The darker blue is for, let's pull out this darker blue. And that's for the, this piece, okay, which goes on top of the water can base. So let's put that on there. It fits perfectly. And then the water can base is a separate die. Here it is here. And that's going to go on the lighter blue, which is Misty Moonlight. No, boho blue. It's boho blue. Okay, so let's grab, let's see what fit on this. This is great for using up all your scraps. Not going to fit on there. No, that's too fiddly. Let's get a bigger piece here. Just rip a piece. I'll put this on here like that. Okay, so we've got 3 die cuts. And I'm going to place my second plate on top. And we'll run this through. Okay, there's our spade. There's our spade. There's our pot. And the main part of our, actually it's not a pot, it's a watering can, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. What else? Have I got everything? The carrots, the spade, the pot, and the watering can. Okay, now we have to do dirt. Okay, and it kind of shows you how the dirt works. You, it looks like you cut maybe 2 pieces of cardstock that I can throw out. These little pieces we can all throw out. These are well used. I'll just throw those up there for now. All right, the dirt. So the dirt looks like it is made from, what other color was it made from? Oh, I know what that is. That's pecan pie. It's a brown color, beautiful brown color. Here it is. I've got some pecan pie right here. Now I use the same green for the carrot tops, but maybe the picture shows one of them is in a darker, like a mossy meadow color. Okay, now how do we do this dirt here? So this is the die. And I think what this die does, it only cuts the top. So the key is to, let's see, how wide is this piece of paper? This is, okay, 5.5 inches. I need it 5.5 inches wide for the card base. So I'm going to, I'm not sure how this works. I'm going to say it's 1 inch wide. They might have used 2 pieces. I'm not quite sure how this works, so we're going to have to play with this. Okay, I'm going to trim this down to 1.5 inches wide. I'll just use my little mini chopper here. So let's go to 3 1/4 and a half. No, that's not right. 1.5 inches. 4 1/4. 3 1/4. Oh, I'll just, I know my brain's a bit fried right now. Can't figure out my measurements. Okay, so let's figure out how this works. Almost looks like they have 3 pieces on there. And I think I'm going to have to use a bit of tape just to hold it in place. Okay, so I'm going to run this through and see what it does. Just going to pull it back so I can work from the front better. All right, so let's take the die off and see what it did. Okay, so see, it didn't cut the bottom, it's just cut the top. So I guess I can just go along and do it again. I'm just going to sit it back in a little bit and do it again. I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to play with this die a little bit more, or perhaps catch a YouTube video from another demonstrator who's figured it out. Stampin' Up! Really allows you to be free with your creativity, so much so is that they very often do not tell you how precisely something might work. Sometimes you get a die set and you look at, a stamp set, and you look at what's in there and you go, what is that? What does that do? What does that stamp? Or it could be a die. Often we get sets with a die and we go, what is that? Kind of looks like maybe it's a fence, but is it a fence? What is it? So we have to sort of figure it out on our own or with other demonstrators. Okay, now that whole piece cut. Oh, I see. Maybe that comes right off. Okay, that's not quite. That quite didn't really work out. So I'm wondering if that's definitely that piece there. And that could work, I guess. All right, we're going to go with what I've got because I don't want to waste any more time trying to figure it out. But I think that's all the die cutting that we need. Okay. So I didn't lay over that die perfectly, so I've got a little bit of a tail here that I want to get rid of. I didn't really want that to cut like that, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. I have to play with that a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to put this on the bottom of my card. And I noticed that see this dirt, I think there's a piece behind it too. Another piece behind it. So let's maybe, I'm going to die cut it one more time. Let's see what I get. Maybe you just cut a whole bunch of these and then piece them together. Not quite sure. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this off. So I've got another one here. Yeah, that's maybe what you do. You kind of build one on top of the other. This one didn't quite work out. Okay, I'm not feeling the love, ladies and gents. I'm not feeling the love. I don't know how they did that. So I'm just going to trim this. I don't like this edge here. That's definitely the front side. I guess I have to trim some of this off. I apologize for this. This is kind of challenging me. I'm usually pretty good at figuring things out, but this one is a bit of a challenge, I will say. So I'm going to glue this on and then just tuck the other piece underneath it somehow. And I want these things here to pop out because I'm going to tuck something in there, I think. One of the carrots fit in there. Let me just get a carrot ready here. So we're going to cut this top off. And then we're going to glue a carrot top on. So I have to poke out some little bits here. And we just need a tiny, tiny little dab of glue right on the end of that carrot top. And slip that underneath. and glue that together. Okay, so that's one carrot top. Might as well do all three of these. There's one more here. I can't wait to put this tail together. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Okay. I should have my silicone mat out here. Okay, there's my second, and here's my last carrot. Yeah, I've seen these different colored carrots in the store. Have any of you ever purchased the multi-carrots? They often come in a bunch. I'm sure they, I don't know even if they grow that way, or, yeah, not sure. With working with this set, it's making me really yearn for summer. We don't plant a lot of vegetables. We grow kale and lettuce. We love our kale and our lettuce. Okay, so I'm going to glue this now onto my card base. And I'm not going to glue along the top because I might want to tuck this other piece underneath. Okay. So let's fit this on here. And I might have made this dirt a bit too deep. There we go. So maybe you can just do this sort of thing. Just tuck it in. Maybe that's what you do. I'm just going to trim this a bit more. Yeah, so don't glue the top, just so that you can snip this in. Okay, now my pots are going to cover this edge, so I don't need to build that up anymore. Okay, so let's put this pot together now. And I might zoom in a bit more here. Okay, so we've got our two different colored cardstocks. And I just have to figure out oh yeah, it goes like this. Now, does this match up with the edges of the pot like that? Yes. Okay, that's not too difficult. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue. There we go. I'm going to get my tweezers. And I'm going to look at the side of the pot here. I want this to line up right at the very top edge of the pot. Like that. Look how cool that is. Look at that. I think that's really cool. Okay, so now we've got our little carrots. Let's put our pot together now. And then we've got our little spade. Okay, so here's our pot. So the main part of the pot was in boho, was it boho blue? And this is the top part, and there's a few little things to pop out. And then we're going to glue this on. So it kind of creates shadowing. Okay. So again, just put a few bits of glue. Some of you may prefer to use the adhesive sheets. I struggle with those. I find them really persnickety. I am personally not a big fan, but others swear by them and love them. But I'm pretty good with my glue. I don't tend to get glue everywhere. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So 2 die cuts create this fantastic dimension for an image. All right, so now we can start putting our card together. Now, the only thing I didn't do is I didn't do the greeting, the thank you so very much, which is done in white embossing. So there are no greetings with this stamp set. So they must have grabbed that from somewhere else. And I might put it on as an afterthought. I'll add a piece of cardstock to it and do it later. I didn't pull out a greeting from there. Thank you very much. Now I'm wondering if that greeting came from the other stamp set that goes with this suite. Let me just have a quick look. Thank you so very much. Yeah, there it is on the Storybook Friends. Thank you so very much. Yeah, so I don't have that. So I'll get another thank you image from somewhere else. So look at that. We didn't do any stamping tonight. Okay. So we've got 1 carrot that sits in the dirt. So yeah, I guess you kind of lift the dirt up. Easier said than done. Okay, we've got it lifted up. I don't even know if I need any glue on there. Maybe I'll just put a bit of glue. I'll put a bit of glue on the leaves. Because if you put glue on the carrot and slide it in, you could end up with glue, you know, everywhere. So let's just stick that in there like that and press that down. Okay. Then I have my little spade. So I'll do the same thing with the spade. I'll just put glue on the handle. And let's slide that in here. So it's like in the dirt. Okay, then we have another carrot sitting kind of on the ground. So it's already been picked out of the ground. I would have eaten it by now. Nothing like fresh carrots right out of the garden. Oh my God. Peas are my favorite. Oh my gosh. We planted peas, I think 2 or 3 years in a row, and they never made it into the kitchen ever. We just ate them right off the vine. Okay. Now I've just noticed they've tucked in some more of that greenery somewhere else. You know, you could add anything you want. I'm tempted to add a radish in here, but I'll do that later and then take a photo of it. So we've got another carrot over here. Yeah, there's a bit of greenery tucked in under here. I didn't see that before, but we've got another carrot happening here. I'll just tuck that in here. Okay, now we've got our pot. And what I'm going to do is I want to add some dimension, have it like lift up off the page. I often do this. I don't do dimensionals on the whole image. I do it on part of the image. I'll show you what I mean. So let me just grab. So I'm going to put 2 of these along the top. Okay, and that's just going to lift the pot, the edge of the pot up off the paper, up off the card. And then I add glue to the bottom, and then it'll just give it some dimension. That's what dimensionals are all about. Just give it a bit of dimension. I think I need to refill my glue bottle. Okay, so this is sitting a little bit on a slant. Okay. So yeah, that's lifted off the page. Okay, and then we need, I'm sorry, I'm going way over, oh, not too bad, 10 after 9. I started about 10 after 8. I like to try and keep myself within the hour. And then we're going to add this pot on here. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to add 1 dimensional on the edge of this pot here. Let's just add some glue. And then put our pot down. Okay, and then I think I'll do a little bit more greenery. I'm going to run 2 more greeneries in just to add a bit more into the dirt. So we're kind of using this as like another plant. You know, maybe it could be potatoes growing or something else growing. Okay, so there's 1. Let's just do 1 more. So this is not a card that I would want to do for a swap. That's for sure. Imagine making 100 of the same card. It's kind of too much work for that. Okay, just take out those little bits. Take out the little bits in this one. Okay, I'm going to put some glue on here. Let's see if I can tuck that in here. There we go. I've got a bit of greenery growing out there. And I think I'll do a bit more greenery just to fill in this hole here. And then we're good. There we go. This definitely needs a greeting. I mean, this whole area at the top is kind of blank. It is in the original here. You see how it's just wide open. So I might put my greeting at the top instead of at the bottom. I might throw in a radish down here too, just to fill in that bit of space there. But that's basically your card. That was a lot of work, but fun, but a lot of work. So there you go, ladies. Thank you so much. Oh, my friend Susan just joined us. Hi, Sue. It is adorable, but it needs a bit more on here. And it's a lot of work. But we didn't even do any stamping tonight. It was all die cutting. It was kind of amazing. Anyway, there you go. So thanks so much for watching. I'll be back on Monday for Mojo Monday. And have a great, great weekend. Enjoy your Friday night. I love Friday night. Enjoy Friday night and a great weekend. And hopefully we'll see you on Monday morning. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye for now.